Right, I've had a number of people ask about making stamped grills for things. Today we're going to look at a quick process and how you do that. To start with, here's a piece I'm making for a car, and as you can see there's a cutout. What I want to have is, with this beveled edge, I want to have a stamped grill that comes up just a little bit so it really looks like it's molded in that spot. So I have my two templates, actually there's 3 total templates, from making that cutout. The ones that I'll be using for this grill are the bigger one and the smaller one. The smaller one is reduced 1/4 of an inch around, and that's what the inside of the stamp, that's what it'll look like inside the stamp. So I have this jig that I'm threw together, and very importantly, you see I've got stars to match the corners, so I always get them lined up. And inside I just have a piece of scrap wood with this larger cutout, and then flush cut to make sure it was the same. And then I copied this small piece, and then I made sure on the edges to chamfer the edge so it doesn't cut the mesh when it's stamping. And then I put on some little side pieces to keep everything centered when it gets pressed. So let's head to the press and see what happens. Alright, so I have an old speaker grill that I flattened out. We're just going to use it as a test piece just to see how this goes. And then if it's like the way I want, I'll decide what kind of mesh I'm going to use. So I make sure the stars line up in the corners. And I set this piece on there, make a little bit more room in here. And I normally use this block of steel just to help distribute the weight. Make sure everything's lined up good. And here we go. And then I'll slide it over a little bit. And then you can look in there and see if the 2 plates are touching. I'll usually go just around a little bit and make sure I've got it good. And I'm using the 20-ton press from Harbor Freight. You can catch these things on sale for about 150 bucks. And I usually do overkill on the pressing. I mean, you don't have to do it this much. I just normally do it. So, take the cover off. And ta-da! Now I'm going to go grab the other piece and let's see how it looks in there. I'm going to trim this to about 1/8 of an inch flat around, just because I've got some tight tolerances inside. My piece. So let's slide this in and see how it looks. Let's see, can you see that? Hard to see, but that's exactly what I was looking for. A nice chamfer on it. Edge is nice and smooth. Now I just got to pick the actual grill material that I want to use and I'll be set.